Hey, welcome in this evening. I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside managing editor Santana Wood. How are you today?
I'm doing good, doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I
We
think
got some big news today.
yeah, I was kind of expecting it to be bigger, but I actually think it's a pretty good first start, I guess we
Yeah,
should say. So before we dig into that, we do want to thank you guys for joining us, as well as thank our sponsor, Russell Medical Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine. Obviously, Kay Ivey, our governor here in Alabama, did decide to make a big announcement today about what was going to take place starting Thursday at 5 p.m., which is when the current stay-at-home order is no longer effective. So she put in what's called a safer at home order, which will go into effect now 5 p.m. Thursday and stay in effect until May 15th at this point.
yeah. So not a huge change, really. The major change of that is, other than being required to stay at home, other than essentials, now you're really strongly suggested to stay at home.
Right.
A really big change is that retail stores will now be able to open and operate at 50% capacity. State beaches are allowed to open as long as people practice social distancing, and that will be up to local law enforcement to enforce that. Couple other changes as well.
Yeah, so it also allows for elective medical procedures to go ahead and take place unless they are prohibited in order to preserve those resources necessary to diagnose and treat COVID-19. Also, it still maintains that employers should take those necessary steps to avoid gatherings of 10 or more if at all possible, and non-work related gatherings of 10 or more are still prohibited.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people were really expecting a big announcement about restaurants, but at this time, restaurants, bars, breweries are still limited to takeout and curbside only. Entertainment venues, athletic facilities, and also close contact services also still closed. I know a lot of people want their hair cut, but not such luck so far.
Not for right now. We got to go at least another 2 weeks without getting our hair cut. So, Ivy is obviously still encouraging everyone to continue to follow those social distancing protocols, washing your hands, proper hygiene, all those kinds of things, and really did make a big effort to say that those who are elderly and otherwise autoimmune compromised should still, basically not change anything if possible.
Yeah, so that was, I know a lot of people were looking forward to that announcement. Probably people have mixed emotions about it, but that is the update for that today, and we will know more May 15th, or if Governor Ivey makes another announcement in between now and then. We also want to give you guys an update on the Alabama Department of Public Health's most recent numbers. Statewide, those are at 6,750 as of 6:40 p.m. tonight, which is an increase of 211 since last night's show.
Yeah, so locally, luckily today we didn't have any added deaths in any of our counties, but did see an increase in cases across all three. Tallapoosa County now at 279, excuse me. That's an increase of 4 cases. Elmer County with 82, which is an increase of 3 cases, and Coosa County now has 31 confirmed cases, which is an increase of 1 since last evening.
Yeah, so small increases there locally, but increases nonetheless. We've also been asked a lot about Alabama and local curves. Are we flattening that curve? What does that kind of graph look like? So we want to show you those now. These graphs we created here at TPI to show the daily increases. First, you'll see the Alabama curve, which does seem to be going on a bit of a down curve, but is still adding cases regularly each day. The 211 increase today is the largest increase we've seen in the state since last Thursday.
Yeah, so and we also created a graph that will show you essentially the same thing just for our county. So you'll see that now. That red line represents Tallapoosa County, which, as you can see, has had some big peaks. But the good news is that the county has not seen a double-figure daily increase, except for once in the last 5 days. So that is definitely some good news.
Definitely. Elmore County and the yellow curve for Coosa County didn't have increases for 3 straight days, but has added one case in each of the last 2 days. Today in the press conference, State Health Officer um, Scott Harris said that it seems that the state cases have been sort of leveling off, and there's not that overwhelming shortage of ventilators or anything that was first predicted whenever the coronavirus came about. So that was a little bit of good news from the state today.
Yeah, so we just wanted to give you guys kind of a visual representation of those curves because we have been asked a lot about what are those daily increases. So we wanted to make those available for you guys. We're going to take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Russell Medical Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine, and then we will be back to talk some local news.
At Russell Medical Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine, we want you to know we're open. We take COVID-19 seriously and have put precautions in place for the safety and health of our patients. Don't delay treatment. Wound duration lasting more than 30 days is less likely to heal naturally. We treat all types of wounds, cuts, and burns, so intervene early. Wound care is critical. Call us today.
Hey, welcome back. I'm Lizzie Arbogast, sports editor here at Tallapoosa Publishers, alongside my managing editor, Santana Wood. Obviously talked a lot about that announcement from Governor Kay Ivey about the Safer at Home order, which will go into effect at 5 p.m. on Thursday evening. One of the big questions following that was what's going to happen with the curfews here locally in Tallapoosa County. So did want to bring you guys an update that both Dadeville and Alexander City have said that their curfew will be in effect until at least May 15th. And both of those are from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Also over in Camp Hill and Jackson's Gap, they are both going to review their curfews next week, but those are still in place at this time, and those are both from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Yeah, so this is a pretty cool story coming up. A Georgia-based company has created sort of an online store selling T-shirts for different communities, and Alexander City has reached out to them, and they are now selling T-shirts that you'll see on your screen now that say "We are Alexander City" #Stronger Together. The T-shirts are $18, and 10 of those dollars go to a local Alexander City business of your choice. So, I mean, there's tons and tons of businesses on there. I think it's over 50 that you can choose where you want your $10 to go to. There's 4 different colors. The store will be open for another 10 days. So if you want to get that information, it will be in our newspaper in the Outlook tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty cool. I'm going to have to get me a T-shirt. I love a T-shirt, and I love supporting a small business. So I think that is really cool. Also in Tallapoosa County, Alexander City schools are offering grab-and-go meals at Stevens Elementary School Monday through Friday for children under the age of 18 to receive a hot lunch and breakfast for the following day. They will continue this through May and into the summer if the traditional feeding program cannot happen due to certain mandates. So that's still available. You can read more about that in Wednesday's Outlook as well.
So over in Tallahassee, did get an update from the elementary school, which said that they're having a smooth transition to online learning. The elementary school has found a way to kind of keep students engaged in physical education as well through a program called Go Noodle, which provides a range of physical activities.
Yeah, pretty cool. Also in Wednesday's Tallahassee Tribune, you can hear from a third grade Tallahassee teacher who says that she's never experienced anything like teaching through this pandemic in her 20-year career. And she just kind of touches on what it's like working through this. So look for Wednesday's Tallahassee Tribune to read more about that. Also in Elmore County, the Elmore County Economic Development Authority announced today the release of a website called reopenelmore.com. And this was created to assist businesses with reopening following the COVID-19 pandemic. Elmore County Commission Chairman Troy Stubbs is one of those officials in Elmore County who is really behind reopening the local economy. And he said that he appreciated some of the changes made under Governor Ivey's Safer at Home order today, but thinks the order ultimately fell short.
Yeah, so he said that he was kind of disappointed that places like barbershops, nail salons, massage therapists, which all fall into that close contact service category, were not included in the reopening plan. But that is a really great resource, that website. I got a minute to kind of check it out. Seems like it's going to be really helpful for businesses to take the right steps towards reopening. Obviously, we appreciate Mr. Stubbs being on with us last week. And, he really seems like he's, trying to do the right thing in terms of making sure that the businesses there in Elmore County are taken care of throughout all of this.
Definitely. You can read more about that in Wednesdays with Tumpka Herald as well. Also, a little fun myth versus fact for y'all tonight. Something that we have seen a lot of and been asked a lot about is people who have gotten the flu shot will test positive for COVID-19. And this is not true.
Yeah, so many studies have been done in regards to this, and all the evidence shows that the flu shot does not cause people to test positive for the coronavirus. And even further than that, people who got the flu shot are not more likely to contract COVID-19, which is another thing that's sort of been rumbled about. So it's important to remember that you don't necessarily, not that you can't get the coronavirus, obviously, if you had the flu shot. It doesn't, it's not a vaccine for the flu shot. We want to be clear about that. But getting the flu shot does not mean that you will inevitably test positive for COVID-19.
Definitely, and we're happy to debunk any rumors that you hear about, or if you have something that you want us to fact check, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'll be happy to do so. Also, just want to end on a feel-good note tonight. Here in Tallapoosa County, Alexander City Fire Department raised a flag at Bill Nichols Veterans Home in support of the residents and staff that have been infected with COVID-19. Chief Reese McAllister said that it might be a small gesture, but it's something that everyone in his department felt needed to be done.
That's awesome to see. Obviously it is a hard time going on there at Bill Nichols with all those people that tested positive, nearly 90 between both staff and residents. So I'm sure it's a tough time there. So it's a great way to show a little bit of support, no matter what.
Definitely. So we appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, getting our latest updates. Really appreciate our sponsor, Russell Medical Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine. And we'll continue to be here every weeknight at 7 p.m. to give you the latest coronavirus updates and other daily news. Again, I'm Santana Wood, Managing Editor, alongside Lizzie Arbogast, Sports Editor. Y'all have a good night.